Good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful September 12th, I think it is today. Obviously, we're still straight cutting hard red spring wheat. We're obviously still up at the North Farm. South Farm's been done for a little bit now. And we're about half done the spring wheat up here, or something like that. So anyways, just wanted to do a little walk around here with you this morning. First thing we're going to start off with is put the 9620R triple tractor here on a grain cart. And obviously it's a little different shade of color than my last grain cart. So obviously you know that I had a green 1084 or 1094. I'm not sure, I can't remember anymore. Anyways, 1,000 bushel cart. I think it was 94. And 94 is the model, and the first two numbers is the size of it. So that, for example, this is a 2096, so that means it's a 2,000 bushel. And 96 means the latest model has all the fancy dancy swivel spout and all that crap. And as you know, I don't really like that. My older cart was my favorite cart, actually. But it wasn't practical for me because a lot of this, well, especially when you get to the next era, has to all be carted out 1.5 miles just to get to the nearest road where the semi's going to get to. And you can't, like, that's already a logistical nightmare and inefficient, never mind taking 1,000 bushel and have to cart it back another 1.5 miles to the combine, which would already be sitting full by this time, a long time, and then get another 1,000 bushel and then cart it back another 1.5 miles because it takes 2 to get to a Super B load. Super B holds about almost 2,000 bushels of mustard or canola, or mustard, I guess, too. They both weigh the same. But anyways, long story short, needed something that I can at least fill up, drive it 1.5 miles, and fill a semi. Now, I was looking for a 1594 because the 94 series just has 2 hydraulics. No fancy dancy junky sensors that are going to give you issues. I don't care about the joystick. I don't need to swivel it. I just need one hydraulic to fold it over, and one more hydraulic to tilt it. And that's what the 94s do, but the 94s only go up to 1,500 bushel cart. And though I was looking for one, I couldn't find one, and harvest was approaching quickly, so we picked up a 2096. So anyways, this particular one it's a used one. I think it's like a 2018 or something like that. Comes with the auto greaser, fire kit, electric tarp. Don't care about it. I actually didn't want it. I almost didn't buy this cart just because it had the electric tarp. I hate electric tarps. And you're like, why, Mike? Why? Because they always give trouble. That's why. We have electric cart on the other one back home, and they always freaking give trouble. And in fact, oh my goodness, the very first day out, going across our 12-inch rows, and you know, like 10 mile an hour is about as fast as the cart's allowed to go. So that's not very fast. Jigga, 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 poof, it fell off. The splines came off. The shaft up there, and then the motor came down here and was just swinging down here. So then here I am, I'm trying to put Timon on my header, and he's holding up the thing. I'm lifting him up on my header, and we're trying to put it back on. I'm like, I knew I hated electric tarps. Okay. Oh man, but anyways, it is nice having the big cart. That's the tank, water tank. It is nice having the big cart, but if there is a 2,000 bushel option with just the 94 series spout, which just is a simple 2 hydraulics, no fancy dancy joystick with all the buttons, oh gosh, I'd probably trade this thing tomorrow. Anyways, obviously we still have this is the other X9 up north. This is not the same one that I was using down south. This one will probably just stay up north. I do have the 50-foot head on it, obviously. I haven't broke any bolts yet, but you know what? The harvest is still young up here. I don't have any lentils or any peas or anything like that to put this into flex mode. Though we are cutting on the ground in some places where the wheat is lodged down. And I am not putting it in flex because it takes about 500 million cranks per turnbuckle. So we will make do with what we have. And fortunately, I rolled everything up here. Very, very good decision. Super happy with how this header is molding to these. Like where I'm farming, it's very potholy. This is actually a really good field. This is somewhat flat with a few potholes, but we're going to get to some really potholy stuff where it's just pothole, sharp knoll, pothole, up, down, butthole, sharp. Yeah, you get the idea. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I brought my 50-foot honeybee up last year. It's cutting the barley, and it did not go well. It took me like almost twice as long because I had to go around and cut the hilltop this way, and then I had to go around and cut the hilltop this way, and it was not fun. But I'm very impressed with how this thing is molding and contouring to the hills. In fact, I haven't had a double cut one hill yet, and I've been on some pretty aggressive hills. So pretty stoked, pretty happy about that. Yes, the point of contact, which I mean this wheel is far too far back. You will nosedive this header. Even doing 2 miles an hour, you will nosedive this header before this wheel knows what the crap is going on. So hopefully Deere can get that sorted. I realize that these are just new headers out, so there's going to be some glitches, and there's going to be some learning curves. I don't know whether they can integrate their hockey sticks up here closer to the cutter bar, or what they can do, but you will nosedive. It's pretty obvious. Yeah, okay, moving on. Otherwise, the X9, this is still the 1000. Everything else is identical to the one back home. No difference. Although I did get a pickup header, obviously, you guys already saw me. Oh, Ashtyn's here. You know what that means? That means breakfast is here. As well as Chapel. Oh yeah, got some new Wilson trailers sitting up there on that truck that I picked up this spring. I'll show you those here in a minute too. Okay, hey little man, did you just wake up from a nap? Did you just wake up from a nap? And it wasn't time to wake up from that nap, unfortunately, huh? Hi!
I just fell asleep.
You just fell asleep? You love... What is that thing? What is that thing?
He's got his little college football jacket on.
You got a college football jacket? Where the heck did Mom find that?
Hand-me-down.
Hand-me-downs. Oh, I like that. They grow out of everything so fast.
Best way to go.
Hey, you. Hey, you. Aw.
There's a huge...
There is a great big green combine sitting over there. And you're recording me, Dad. And you know I don't like being recorded when I just wake up. Oh, man. He gave us quite the scare here not very long ago. About a week or so, or a month. Maybe it's a month now. I'm not sure. I kind of lose track of time. But he almost died on us. And that was scary. Lots of hospital time, emergency, ambulance. Doctors worried. If doctors are worried, parents are terrified. So let's just try not to do that again, okay? There's a bad allergic reaction. But he's doing better now. We're doing good. We're doing good. And they're gone. Chapel did not appreciate going back into the car seat when he just woke up from a premature tried to sleep nap. Nope, did not appreciate that. So yeah, I did pick up a set of trailers here. Actually ordered them a long time ago, and they didn't come in time for seeding, like everything else. But you know what? They did come in time for harvest. So these Wilsons have, I can't remember if they're called evolution hoppers or what the heck they're called, but anyways, they're awesome because instead of having one hopper here and one hopper here, and then normally the gate opens on this side and goes back, and then on this one normally the gate opens over here and goes back, which is completely two opposites, right? Right. But now, oh, we're glitching. Try this again. Here we go. Yeah, that's better. No, we're still glitching. Well, anyways, they face each other. The gates face each other and both go back this way and this way, and both the grains dump right here. Perfect. Slide the auger under and you can nab both hoppers without even moving them. Well, you got to move it a little bit just to get them all cleaned out, but sure is awesome. But anyways, yeah. Everything else is fairly self-explanatory. And guess what? No electric tarps, you guys. There's no electric tarps on these things. Yes, you can get them if you want them. Yeah, heck, you can get electric chutes too if you really want to. All right, let's get combine. you can't tell, but the header goes up on an angle like this. Straw is a little bit chewy here this morning. Sometimes I get a little too close to the ditch and I don't know why. Because I can't, you know, you can't run the header up the ditch. But we're sure trying. Really happy with how this header is following. Again, the camera doesn't do it justice, but it is like this. I'll show you guys when we get to a real spot here. Maybe it'd be a little bit more noticeable for you. This header is like way up here. This one is pretty much level over there. When I say header, I mean wing. I mean wing, you guys. Wing. Bear with me. I do not have all my coffee down yet. It's been long days. Typically we go to around 10 or 11. Get back. Maybe you're hopefully you're showered and whatever by midnight 1. And then I try to get out early to the swather at around 5. So long days. You try and punch in a bunch of swathing while it's still quite dewy. And then when you think it's good enough to go, you jump off the swather and head right for the combine. So I'm a little tired. So bear with me if I start slurring my speech a little bit more than normal. Here's a little better spot. You can see both now are coming in on an angle. And I'm doing a really nice clean job to that side. And obviously I'm doing a nice clean job to that side. So, kind of get the idea. If you're wondering how fast I go, I'm running into the mustard, almost the red, easy there. I'm doing about 4 miles an hour and our bushels are around 70 bushels. So it doesn't take very much to push this thing to the red. I can definitely see where a little more ponies would probably be awesome. I did set the throwover bar there, so when it hits into the green, I'm going to be around that 1/3 of a bushel. As soon as I go over that, well then I'll probably be in that 1/2 bushel range. And if I go right to the freaking top and go real ramming speed, maybe I could push a bushel out. We did push a bushel out when we first threw the pans. And but we had way too much fan on. Like I was running like 1100 on the fan or something like that. It just wasn't set. That's the reason why I'm now running 870 on the fan. Right down there. Fan is 870. Rotors are 1150. I'm currently doing rotors right now at 1150 because it's a little chewy here this morning, which is also taking a little bit more jam. But it is breezy out there, so it will not take long. Oh, we are full. We are full and I'm probably going to run over. Running over is a big no-no. You do not run over. No. Bad. So now I'm just going to drive to the truck. That's inefficient. And the reason why is, well, we've been working 7 days a week. And the poor guys, they don't have any food. They don't have any water because, you know, they're going out at, well, before anything opens. And they're coming back long before everything closes or after everything closes. So they're like, we just really need to do some grocery shopping, Mike. Really, please? And I'm like, absolutely. What do you think I am, a monster? So they're doing some grocery shopping. So do not hit my truck, Mike. Bad. And so we are just going to dump a couple loads here into the truck until they get back. Also, our generator shut off on us there yesterday, and it was throwing up fuel rail pressure codes. Also could be contributed to fuel filters, so we just changed the fuel filters out this morning. I did, I guess I should say, and I hope that fixes it, because this stuff needs to have a little wind. Careful, Mike, what are we trying to do here? Rotate my spout, there we go. And anyway, as I was saying, this stuff needs some wind, and it's a bad time for that motor to shut down. I always like to look around, double check, no grain come out the bottom. That can happen if the trucker accidentally forgets to close a gate and you start dumping. Most of the time it's with the grain cart, and the grain cart really dumps at ramming speed. Nothing compared to this. And you can dump a lot of grain on the ground very fast. Very fast. Let's go back and talk about capacity of a combine here just for a second, just to make sure we're all on the same page. There's no such thing as I can do an X speed in an X bushel crop with a X foot head. All right, that's not a thing. That's impossible. For example, there's no such thing as saying that, well, I can do 3.5 miles an hour in a 65 bushel crop with a 50 foot head. Or I can do 3 miles an hour with that same 50 foot head in a 70 or 75 bushel crop. Okay, that's not a thing. Every farmer knows that. There's so many factors that come into play. First of all, are you picking it up off in a swath? Are you combining it straight cut? And if you did combine straight cut, did you spray it first to make it grind up a lot easier, make that straw grind up a lot easier? And just because we're just basically putting dust out the back, there's no straw. Or are you going into green straw? Or how about what variety of wheat do you have? Do you have wheat or do you have durum? Do you have barley? All different types of straw, all different types of heads, all different types of lengths, different fibers. There's so many different things that go into that. And for example, like this stuff has been sprayed. It's probably going to run, I'm hoping for a 60 bushel average. You know, I'm playing around with that 3.5, 4 mile an hour out here with a 50 foot head. And I've been running it in the mustard. Sometimes I run it under it, and sometimes I hit the ketchup. You know what I mean? I just kind of going off the feel. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if I go down into, say, there's a low spot up and over here where it's green, like we're talking, you know, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 25, 30%, all of a sudden you'll set this combine right down on its butt, and it'll be down to about 2 mile an hour crawling through this green stuff. It's just groaning and rumbling. You can't get it out of the ketchup. In fact, it goes quiet. As soon as you hit the ketchup, it just kind of goes quiet. And you're like, oh crap, I hope I didn't plug it, right? So that's another factor. What's the moisture? What's the moisture of whatever you're trying to combine? What's the temperature outside? Is it dewy? Is there any dew out there? Is it windy? Is it calm? Is it hot? There's probably about 100 different factors I didn't even mention. So there's no such thing as, well, I can do this speed with this combine, so that obviously makes it that big. Anyone who says that is ignorant to knowing how to harvest, unfortunately. But so that's kind of the dealio on that. Every farmer knows their field. Every farmer knows their crop varieties and their moisture and all that fun stuff. And at the end of the day, it's going to be the farmer going to be the judge of whether he thinks that combine has the capacity or not. And now, regarding the X9, am I happy with the X9? I am happy with the X9. I'm happy that it goes up and down the field every day. I'm happy with its sample. In my mind, it is better than an S series. I'm happy with the capacity. It definitely has more capacity than an S series, hands down. I don't think it doubles it by what they're claiming. At least not in the conditions that I have put this combine in. But for sure, I think it could use more power, hence I guess the 1100, which is the next one up, has a little bit more ponies, but we're not talking like major increase in ponies here. After all, you're going to be carrying around more hopper capacity, which is going to be more weight, so you're going to need those ponies for that. So it'd be awesome. I don't know why they didn't go with the 600 plus horsepower, probably for fuel efficiency. So a lot, you know, that's another thing. Maybe you're more worried about fuel. You know, price of fuel is pretty expensive these days. Fuel for me is not the biggest factor. That's not how I rate a combine. I'm not going to go and be like, hey, what's the fuel economy of that bad boy? You know what I mean? That's not going to be the first thing. Is it important? Absolutely. But it's not the first thing that I'm looking at. Obviously, bushels, what you can carry is important. And unload speed is also important if you're dumping on the go all the time, and maybe you have short passes. Up here, up north, we have short passes. You need to be at well, this is actually like an anomaly in this field, but typically you have really short passes. It's really knolly and potholy and so on and so forth, and you need to get dumped quickly. And it's kind of hard to do that so far. We've had to go and then we stop, and then because there's a slough right in front of me, and then I just finish unloading and I carry on. But anyways, talking about the capacity, there is definitely a lot of contributing factors, and I probably forgot like 100 of them. But that being said, oh yeah, and other things that use your horse. Here's some other examples. Is do you have your chopper blades in? Because if you have your knives, your stationary knives that slide up your chopper to chop it all up, those take a lot of power to run, right? And I think the 1100 you can actually get well, actually I think maybe you can get them on both. You can get this double knife, really chop it super fine. I don't have that on this one. In fact, I don't even have my stationaries in. I have them right out because I like to use the extra power on the crop, not the knives. And since this stuff's been sprayed, it's just turning to dust anyways. There's no need for it. When would you need those? Very good question. If you were out here and it was dewy in the morning, or maybe you were trying to go all night and it was getting tough on you, or maybe you're in flax, or maybe you're in some whatever else, maybe you're not happy with how it's being spread, then you throw in your stationaries. It will do a better job of the spread and it would chop it all up. But I would rather a nice even with the longest length possible, if possible. So also it matters, you know, for it comes to horsepower and losses. Are you in rolling ground? Are you, well, you know, because if you're going up a hill and using up all the ponies climbing a hill, guaranteeing you're throwing way more out the back because you're climbing, you know, it only makes sense. Gravity is not working in your favor this time. You know what I mean? So lots of factors. Lots of factors. There was something else I was going to say, but now I forgot what it was going to be, so I've rambled on long enough. You guys get the idea. I knew I shouldn't have said anything that prematurely, that everything just goes up and down the field. Oh, I hope that's nothing. I don't even want to reboot it. I think actually Brian, with his S790 back home, his new one, he was having a lot of trouble with the system trying to reboot on him all the time, and it would freeze his monitor. I didn't have any issues with that. I had seat issues and some other stuff, but then I also noticed that every now and then this monitor will shut off and restart, which is my radio, which I, you know, who cares about a radio, but it is a little bit alarming if it's going to kind of do its own thing. Reboot, deselect data, and reboot the display. Reboot the display. Is that going to shut my combine off? I don't know. You know what? I better just stop for a second here. Better not. It better just be the display. I'd be peeved off. This wants me there. During a reboot, new application shut down with no system message. Yeah. Put it in park. Got it. That's the only thing I got out of this. Yeah, you better collect that error information. You better send that to my dealer. Mr. Dealer. Yeah, you. I'm collecting some information there for you, good sirs, and I'm going to be sending it your way here, hopefully, right soon. Okay, I want to shut my separator off here. Go for a lunch. It's taking a long time. It's doing some serious house cleaning here. Why am I showing you this? That's a really good question. It's because these are little things that we have to deal with. And if I just say, oh, I got to reboot the system, and then I edit it, and then I come back with the system rebooted, you'd be like, oh, that only took a second. Why are you complaining? No, it takes longer than a second. So this is what my, oh, it's rebooting both. My radio is in. I'm surprised it doesn't reboot my radio as well. So as we wait, we eat some cherries. It's gonna take a little while, isn't it? Let's see. You know what? It's still taking sweet time. We don't really have to dump yet. Oh, maybe something happened here. I think it just shut it off. We haven't got to the reboot yet. I think we're just gonna go and dump. The guys should be here hopefully shortly. They said they were en route. Didn't want to combine this. Ow, that's loud. Wow. Was that necessary? Was that really necessary? Jeez. You know, actually, it's been, so far, been a good morning. Yesterday morning, oh man, just dogged yesterday. I did 2 videos yesterday, and then I just deleted them. I'm like, you know what? I am so dang tired. Like a lot more tired than I even am today. Yesterday was rough. I'm telling you, I just deleted the videos. But like, wow, I'll just start fresh. Oh man. And no, they weren't on Combine Performance. They were. I don't remake videos. If I can't get a video done 1 try, 2 tries, 3 tries, I delete it and change topics. I don't even go back. And if I do a video, I said do. If I do a video and I'm not happy with it, I'll just delete it. And I probably won't go back to that topic because I don't really like messing around. Hey, this is a long reboot, isn't it? How much time have I taken up of yours? It's exactly how much time this thing's taken up of mine. I got nothing better to do, so John Deere, just do your thing. Just do your thing. It's not like I could go combining or anything. No big deal. It's all good. It's not like there's rain coming next week. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Well, we just finished dumping here and we are back online. Our monitors are back online. And Timon and Donovan just showed up. Perfect timing. Now we will speed up our efficiency here just a little bit. But anyways, you guys pretty much get the idea. I don't want to just ramble on. I was going to show you some pretty cool ravines and how this head kind of holds and stuff, but I don't know if we're going to. We'll see. Maybe I'll add that in here later on. But otherwise, you guys have yourself a really good one, and adios amigos.